The psychedelic revolution is here. If you want to integrate your visionary experiences into your purpose, get clear on your entrepreneurial path, and help people while you do what you love, then this podcast is for you. Welcome to The Psychedelic Entrepreneur, Medicine for These Times. I'm your host, Beth Weinstein. I'm a spiritual business coach, 3-time entrepreneur, and a lifelong student of psychedelics and sacred plant medicines. You carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times. This podcast will help you to share your medicine so you can create transformation in the world. Listen in on conversations with psychedelic leaders, changemakers, and conscious entrepreneurs who are living proof that a better world is possible when you follow your heart and live in alignment with your soul. I want to let you know that Sunarai, the journey home to your quintessence, clarity, and abundance, is now open. I am taking new clients for this journey starting in February. So this is a new offering of mine that has actually not been announced anywhere out there in the public yet. It is a private 12-week journey with me where you are not getting any traditional business coaching, but we are going to do some deeper inner work that will clear whatever's in the way of having what it is that you want. So if you're struggling to get clients or make more money or get past something that you just know is in the way, or if you're just feeling stuck or burnt out or going through a transition in your life, then this program will help you through that. It is a deep and profound container where I'm holding you with transformational neuro-linguistic programming sessions that are 2 hours long, where we can dive into what might be in the way of you having more of what it is you want. I am also going to give you your own custom plant spirit to work with, or plant spirits. In some cases, there might be more than one. There's also an option to add in some microdosing support if that is calling to you and if it feels right and aligned with your goals. I will walk you through the process and get you started, and we'll determine what these plant spirits are that you will be working with during the 3-month journey. These plant spirits are some of the most powerful medicines I've ever worked with. I have not gone, I don't know how many years now, 10, 11, 12 years without working with some form of a flower or plant or other kind of essence. And a lot of people don't really understand how essences work and what to do with them. And a lot of people most of the people I've talked to don't even know what they are. I can tell you right now that these have been so supportive on my journey, and I've assigned them to clients in the past. And in this journey, I am going to work with what your intention is for the 3 months and give you the essences that I know will be supportive for having you reach your goals. And we're also in this journey, I dive into your gene keys, I look at your astrology and do some energy work behind the scenes that you don't even really know about to guide you through this 3-month journey so you can start coming into your quintessence, having more clarity and creating more abundance and more of what you want in your life. The reason why I'm offering this, I had been channeling this. This first came through about 1.5 years ago. I have been doing this work with my regular business coaching clients, whether they know it or not. And I started noticing when I was being a little more intentional about, hey, let's do an NLP session today instead of, your regular coaching call. I would see some pretty crazy things happen in a good way, meaning people would manifest money or get clients immediately, or suddenly they would get this burst of energy and action. Things would start flowing in, or when they felt stuck or kind of in some limiting belief around their worthiness or who are they to be doing this, the imposter syndrome, they would suddenly just be over it. Or maybe it just wouldn't be as loud. And it's through this deeper inner work, through this modality I've been studying for a few years now, where I have seen the kind of magical results that you can't even get through the traditional business coaching or the traditional marketing. And here's the thing, there is nothing wrong with traditional marketing and building your email list and building your community and doing workshops and social media, etc. Yes, all of that is what I call like the masculine, it's like the masculine piece of your business. It is necessary and it only can take you so far. And I've been saying that for so many years, since day one. I have seen clients of mine like check all the boxes, do everything I tell them to, go through the motions. But if they're holding some unconscious belief around, and again, it's like unconscious, so they don't even know what it is. But if they have an unconscious belief around worthiness or feeling good enough or feeling trained enough, or am I even able to do this? Who am I to do this? Imposter syndrome, or what will people think? People will judge me. I'm going to lose friends over this. My family is going to disown me. I've had a client literally say, my dad is going to like cut me off. And she was like in her late 40s. It's like I've seen everything. So if we have these kind of like ancestral loyalties, these kind of unspoken family vows, sometimes it's beyond our family. It's like these energetic vows that were made in previous lifetimes or made by other ancestors that are not even, it's not even us, but we're still carrying that epigenetic imprint in our field. And if that is still running out there in the unconscious or the not conscious realm, then of course you can't figure out what's in the way of what you want. For people, if you've been saying something like, I have done everything XYZ and I still can't get clients, or I don't understand why I feel blocked around X, Y, or Z, or, money blocks or, abundance blocks, that's when you need help like this. Because if you had already known what was in the way and what the problem was, you already would have solved it at the conscious level. Am I not right? I am right. Because that's the truth, right? Anything that we don't really understand, like, oh, I've tried everything and it's not working, well, that means there's something going on that you don't know about. And the only way to make the unconscious conscious is to have someone guide you through this process. Because if you've already sat there and thought about it for years, like, why can't I, or why am I not, or what's my problem with, or why am I stuck on, then you would have figured it out and you would have made that change by now. So this is where this work comes in. It's a combination of working with me, working with plant spirits, and working with the energetic, and really just approaching all of this, anything you want in your life, from a different perspective that is beyond this kind of 3D, as we know, like the masculine energy of doing and marketing and having to like put ourselves out there in the kind of the old paradigm way, which, there's nothing wrong with. I do believe like every creation, it takes masculine and feminine. It can't just be living out there in your mind and your intuition, and it can't just be doing. It has to be both. And if there's something you're trying to create and it's not coming through, and you've been trying over and over and over and over, and you've approached it from what you think are both directions, like the doing and the ceremony work or the therapy or Akashic records or astrology or whatever it is, but nothing's really shifting or changing, that's where this modality comes in. And I'll be honest, I love my business coaching clients. I will always probably be doing business coaching, but this is the direction where I'm probably going. And I think it's also where our entire world is going to have to go. Everything is energy. There's an entire realm that, I know you all know about, but when something's not working or you're feeling stuck or you're in a transition, nothing seems to be moving and there's just no energy, this is where it's time for another way. And that's what Sunarai is all about. For those of you who know the Ikaro, Sunarai, there are different theories about what the word Sunarai means. And on some level, I think all of us, when I say us, people within my medicine communities, we've known that this word meant a certain level of like reverence for the plants, because you sing Sunarai to Bobansana, Bobansana, Sunarai, Sunarai Yadi, Bobansana, Sunarai, Sunarai Yadi. But it wasn't until, was it last year? About like 8 or 9 months ago. So a few of us, me and some friends and people in medicine world of mine, have a Quechua teacher. And I have learned a fair amount of Quechua and Quechua songs over the last, 4 or 5 years now. And so I know, decent amount of Quechua. And someone finally asked, like, what does this word mean? Like, because no one really knows. There's not, like most of Quechua, there's not a direct translation. It's a relational language. So he's like a Quechua scholar and connected to other like professors, and he's a teacher, and he went and did some research and consulted with a bunch of other professors and scholars of Quechua, and they determined that here's the best translation. And when I say translation, again, it's not like this equals dog, right? When my friend told me what he had said, Sunarai basically means you're seeing this plant. So you're singing a Bobansana, Sunarai yadi, Bobansana, Sunarai. So you see Bobansana, and I have Bobansana tattooed on me. Maybe you've seen it before, and like you approach it and you're like, oh, it's Bobansana. But Sunarai means you're seeing Bobansana for the first time, always, over and over. And you're seeing it in its truest essence, like as if there are no stories and there's no projections and there's no history, there's no future or past about this plant. It is just seeing it for its ultimate essence over and over for the first time with nothing, no history, no stories, no projections. And so then you get to see and really know and honor this plant in its fullest expression of its quintessence. So he didn't use the word quintessence, but quintessence is one of my gene keys. So I used the word quintessence because the second I heard that, I was like, wow, Sunarai is talking about quintessence on some level, of this plant or of you. So that's the history of the name, and that's where it came from. I hope you'll join me, and feel free to ask me any questions. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're feeling inspired, I'd appreciate it if you showed your love with a review. And check out my YouTube channel where you can find the video version of this podcast. You can also head to bethaweinstein.com to learn more about me and grab my free business growth trainings. Remember, you carry your own unique medicine, and your medicine is what we need for these times.